This is one of the most important tools you will buy for your shop, and you'll be glad you did. It's a finish nailer. They are extremely handy to have for assembly and attaching trim and various other jobs around the wood shop. But when you go to buy one, there's a lot of different choices. There's what gauge do you buy? Do I need a pneumatic or now battery operated ones? And what kind of compressor to get if I do get a pneumatic? Well, that's what this video is going to address. It's going to address those questions for the beginner purchasing their first pneumatic or battery operated nail gun. And if you stick around to the end, I have a bonus tool that's an extremely handy tool to have. So let's get to it. So which one do you buy? That's a good question. My recommendation for the standard wood shop just making various projects from cabinetry to you know, small projects, pieces of furniture, stuff like that, is not the one that I just held up. We'll get to this one later. My first recommendation would be an 18 gauge finish nailer, like this one from Porter Cable, although I wouldn't suggest buying Porter Cable anymore. They've gone downhill, but that's an aside. The 18 gauge is one of the most versatile nail guns out there, and you'll use it for almost everything. What makes it so good is the gauge of the nail is very, very thin, but yet it holds really good. It has a little head on it, so it holds trim or whatever you're nailing really good. Being so narrow, it creates a small pinhole to where it punches it sets that nail down into the wood. So it doesn't make a very big hole to fill up later on. And that's good when you go to finishing. So an 18 gauge is probably the first thing I would suggest a beginner to buy. However, don't make the mistake of what I did when I first bought one, is I bought one, the cheaper one, that only goes up to, I think, 1.25 to 1.5 inches. To where I can only, basically only shot 1.25 inch brads out of it. The problem with that is 1.25 is never enough. It's not enough to attach face frames to cabinets or even serious pieces of trim to you know, pieces of furniture. What I would suggest the beginner to buy is one that goes from 5/8 inch, one of these little bitty things. These are really handy, the 5/8 inch. You'll find uses for that. And it goes all the way up to 2 inches. The 2-inch version will give you a lot better range of sizes to choose from for your projects. And it's what I would suggest for the beginner to buy. So your first gun would be an 18 gauge. You'll use it all the time. I use this all the time. As you can see, I've worn the handle off of it. This is when Porter Cable used to make good stuff. Just a really versatile one. This is probably the third one I've bought in my lifetime. I've worn out 2 others. Well, one was the 1.25 inch. So 18 gauge, 5/8 inch to 2 inch, just the best thing ever. So we'll address how to run one later, but first, the one I held up. This is a 15 gauge angled, 30-degree angle gun. And it's a more newer one made by DEWALT. Really good gun. I really like this gun. I wore out an old Porter cable before I bought this one, and this is so much better than that old Porter cable. It uses angled nails, so it's good for getting in, it's good for trim and getting into tight spaces like crown molding. That's why you have the angle. This would be my second or third purchase, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing more larger trim, I would suggest getting this kind of finish nailer next, because the two nailers, the 18 gauge and the 16 gauge, or the 15 gauge, I'm sorry, will complement each other. Especially if you're doing trim around a door, you do the 18 gauge for the trim that's nailing into the door jamb, and then you do the 15 gauge around the perimeter that's going through your sheetrock and into your studs. So if you're doing larger work and you're doing some trim, I would suggest getting the 15 gauge next. And they pretty much come in the same standard sizes, so it's not like you can get a small, you have to be careful getting the 2-inch version for the 18 gauge. This one pretty much comes in the same gauges. I think it ranges from like 1 inch to 2.5 inches, maybe 3. Yeah, 1.25 inches to 2.5 inches is the nail range, and that's plenty. So I would suggest getting a 15 gauge. It just depends on your project. Now, I did slip up and I said something about the 16 gauge. I never have used a 16 gauge. And I'm not going to say not get it, but I'm also not going to say to get it. I feel like the two that I've chosen for my woodworking have enough variance in them to justify getting either size. The larger fastener, the 15 gauge, has the angled, and that's really handy for getting into tighter spaces. And then the 18 gauge handles the small stuff. So I never really felt like I needed to get the 16 gauge. Because the 16 gauge comes, I think, in straight. You can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think I've only seen them come in straight nails, not the angled nails like the 15 gauge. So my recommendation is the 18 and then the 15. It gets confusing, all these gauges. The 15 gauge. I think that'll give you plenty of range in your fasteners, and you should be pleased with it. The thing about the 15 gauge, it's a big nail, and it's good for trim, like in trimming houses and all that. It sets the nail with a big hole. The driver makes a larger hole in the wood. So that's why I kind of recommend it for larger projects, and especially you need it for trim, but for larger projects, because that nail set is just large. If you're doing a lot of furniture work and smaller work with smaller trim, the 18 gauge is the way to go. It doesn't make that big of a nail set hole. So that's the cons of a 15 gauge, is it really sets that nail with a big nail set hole, and you got to fill it in, with either color putty or putty for painting or what have you, or you just leave it. So anyway, that's the 15 gauge. Now, I mentioned that nowadays, within the past several years, you have a choice between pneumatic, which is air powered by a compressor, or battery operated. I didn't know much about the battery operated one until I bought a battery operated finish gun, or a framing gun, for this shop that I just built. And it was fantastic. It was a Metabo brand, which is the old Hitachi, and it was fantastic. So that's why I leave some room for the battery operated guns out there. I'm not really a fan of most battery operated tools. I've seen some battery operated routers and all that. Batteries, if they go bad, you have to replace them and you still have the tool sitting there. So I'm a big fan of power cords for most tools still. Maybe old-fashioned, I'm not sure. But I think there's a certain trade-off that you would get with a battery operated nail gun, and that is being the compressor. If you buy an air gun, pneumatic gun, you need to have an air compressor. Now you can have, but with both of these, you can have a little pancake compressor, and they're just a few $100s. And that's plenty of air to operate any of these guns in a pretty fast manner, meaning, you know, shoot, 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 shoot. Because the faster you nail those nails, the faster you drain the tank. So if you're modest in your speed, a pancake is plenty. I have a Metabo pancake that is wonderful. So anyway, so I leave a little room for the battery operated. And if I was doing finish work again, I would probably go and get those battery operated. There's battery operated 18 gauges out there, and there's battery operated 15, and I'm pretty sure there's 16s out there too. And I would like to try them. I think they would be fantastic in construction work and for around the shop. If you don't want to buy the pancake compressor, or you don't have a compressor or whatever. So anyway, that addresses the pneumatic and the battery. If you have any experience with those battery operated air guns out, or nail guns out there, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about them and what brand you recommend and how it's worked for you. I think they're fantastic. That framing nailer was wonderful. I didn't have to drag out a compressor day after day after day, and it worked fantastic. If you want to learn about that framing nailer, I'll put a link below for the video I did on the review of the one I got, and you can take a look at that. The bonus tool or gun that I would suggest, if you're doing smaller projects and you're not really doing trim work, then I wouldn't suggest this as your second gun. I would suggest this. This is a 1/4-inch crown staple gun. And this is a really old one that is made in China, but dang if it still doesn't work after probably 30 years. This thing's 30 years, and to tell you the truth, I don't think I've even oiled it. And it works fantastic. It shoots a 1/4-inch staple. And this is great for a second gun if you're doing furniture, because the 1/4-inch staple is great for putting in backs on pieces of furniture, or structural work that is not being shown, you know, inside the cabinet or inside the piece of furniture, attaching cleats, you know, stuff like that. The 1/4-inch staple is great to have. I haven't really looked into one of these in a long time because this one's still working, and I haven't really needed to. But I think they go up to about 2 inches in length, and then they go to maybe 3/4 or half or so. And this is a great gun to have, and a great second gun. And I went years without buying a finished gun. I went years with just the 18 gauge and a staple gun. And I built all sorts of furniture, all sorts of projects. It was only when I started getting into serious finish work is when I needed the 15 gauge. So anyway, I hope this clears up a little bit of your confusion with finish guns, finish nailers, and which one to buy. If you enjoyed this video, please like or subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.